Today we're digging into a really fundamental shift in how we think about artificial intelligence. It's all built around this idea called context fabric. And, it all starts with one simple, but honestly pretty profound question.
We are constantly hearing about making AI smarter, right? Faster, more capable. We're all chasing these higher intelligence scores, more complex reasoning. But what if we're all focused on the completely wrong problem? What if the real thing holding AI back from its true potential isn't its IQ at all?
And that's it. That's the core idea right there, memory. Just the simple ability to remember, to recall, and to connect information over time. I mean, think about it. We've given AI these incredible brains for computation and language, but we completely forgot to give it a memory. And that one little omission, well, it changes everything.
Okay, so let's get right into the weeds of this memory problem. It turns out that pretty much every single AI tool we use today, from the simplest little assistant to the most complex copilot, it's operating with a built-in and, honestly, a very critical flaw. Just think about how you use AI. Every single interaction happens inside some kind of temporary box, right? A chat with a support bot, a request to a code assistant, or a prompt to help you draft an email. These are all windows. And the moment you close that window, poof, the AI's context, its understanding of what just happened, it just vanishes. It's gone. So what this has done, completely by accident, is it's led organizations to build this world of incredibly smart, yet functionally blind AI. We have all this amazing power, but it's totally disconnected and siloed. And here's what that actually looks like in the real world.
First up, we've got copilots for our communication tools. They're amazing at crafting that perfect email or message. I mean, they're absolute wizards with language, but they are completely blind to everything else happening in the business.
Then, you've got your copilots for your CRM. These are fantastic at analyzing sales data, helping you forecast deals, but they have absolutely no idea about the support or engineering issues that same customer might be having.
And of course, there are the copilots for our developers, helping them write and debug software. They're brilliant with code for sure, but you're starting to see the pattern here, right?
Each one of these tools is a total genius, but only in its own little window. It's completely blind to what's going on in all the others. The sales AI doesn't know about the critical support ticket, and the code AI has no clue about the promise that was made to a client over email. There's just no connective tissue holding it all together.
And look, this is not just some small inconvenience. This blindness has major, real-world consequences. An AI can't remember that high-stakes promise your CEO made last quarter. It can't recall the subtle but super important context from a tense meeting. It completely misses the recurring pattern in system outages, or that faint security signal that, looking back, was a huge red flag.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. Without memory, without that persistent context, AI can be intelligent, sure, but it can never ever develop true judgment. It can answer our questions, but it can't give us wisdom. This is the wall we've all been hitting, until now.
All right, so enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. If the problem is that AI has no memory, well, the solution is to build a memory layer for the entire company. And this is the whole idea behind a new category of tech called context fabric.
It really is that simple. Context fabric isn't another tool you have to log into or interact with. No, it's a foundational layer. The best way to think of it is as the shared long-term memory for all of your systems, all of your people, and all of your AI agents.
And just to be super clear here, this is not another chatbot to add to your already long list. It's not some simple browser plugin. It's not just a clever way to write prompts. No, it is fundamental infrastructure. It is the memory layer.
So how does it actually do this? Well, it just sits there quietly underneath all your existing systems, your CRM, your support tools, your code repos, and it continuously, silently, and reliably pulls together all the relevant information, creating the structured, governed context that can then be used by anyone or anything that needs it.
So what does this actually change for a company? Well, with a shared memory layer, you finally bridge that gap between your human employees and your AI agents. You move everyone away from all that guesswork and toward a single source of truth.
Just stop and imagine this for a second. Your head of sales walks into a big negotiation with perfect recall of every single interaction that's ever happened with that client. Your support engineer doesn't just see a new ticket. No, they see the entire history, the whole story behind it. Your operations and security teams can finally see the meaningful patterns in the data, not just an endless fire hose of alerts. That's the real power of shared context.
And this is the real paradigm shift. For the very first time, your people and your automated AI agents are all operating from the exact same playbook. They share the same memory, the same policy-bound truth. This just eliminates the disconnect and lets you have truly coherent collaboration.
So, what does this all lead to? I mean, the implications here are way bigger than just making things more efficient. When AI finally has a memory, it builds a foundation for something even more important: trust and accountability. To really understand the scale of this, think about the huge transformations we've seen in enterprise tech. The cloud completely revolutionized computing. Data platforms transformed analytics. And in that exact same way, Context Fabric is poised to transform decision-making itself. It's a brand new, essential layer of the enterprise stack.
The transformation is just profound. You go from having all these fragmented systems to a coherent whole. You stop being reactive and become truly situationally aware. And you replace that blind, unpredictable automation with governed, reliable execution.
And this is the ultimate takeaway. Memory is the prerequisite for accountability. Think about it. An AI that can't remember its instructions, or its past actions, or the context of a decision. You can never hold it responsible. But an AI with a memory, that's an AI that can finally be accountable.
So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. If you had an AI that you could genuinely trust, one that was built on a real foundation of memory and accountability, what new possibilities would open up? What could you build then? Thanks for tuning in.